How's it going, guys? Today I have a very special video for you. A few days ago I put out a chapter review for the newest chapter of Chainsaw Man, like I do every week. And in this chapter a lot of crazy stuff happened, like that emotional goodbye between Asa and Yuko. But I think the craziest thing that happened in this chapter that I know a lot of people are talking about is the fact that seemingly an imposter Chainsaw Man killed Yuko. And I am intentional when I say seemingly an imposter killed Yuko. Because when it comes to a work from Tatsuki Fujimoto, you should know to expect the unexpected. Even his red herrings are just red herrings for other red herrings. But the fact that a lot of people seem to think there is an imposter among us got a lot of people thinking. If you watch my chapter review videos, you know I go over some of your guys' comments every week when you guys say something funny or have a cool theory or something. But in my last chapter review video, your guys' theories were so good that it just warranted its own video. So without further ado, let's just look at some of your guys' comments. Is what I would have said if I hadn't forgotten to shill my channel to you guys before you actually get into the real content. If you like this kind of content, remember to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot, and in return, I'll give you guys more and more Chainsaw Man content. So it's a good trade deal. Alrighty, let's actually look at your comments now. So right off the bat, my boy Salad is in here with this crazy theory that I wanted to show you guys and highlight in particular. I'm loving all the theories for the Imposter Denji. That one about being a new devil makes a lot of sense, but I'm going to throw in an absolutely insane crackpot theory I had. The Imposter Chainsaw Man is Yoshida, whether literally or he's tied to it. Yoshida is the only one whose face isn't shown in the lineup of panels. He's been really suspicious towards Denji and not wanting him to ever reveal his identity. He's a part of a secret organization that isn't the Devil Hunters Association. Also, he's one of the few people that know about Yuko and has the skills to track and kill her. Whether he's using one of the duplicate Denjis from part 1 or his octopus has an ability where it camouflages as other things like the Skin Devil. The biggest thing that tips me off is how he's holding Yuko's body. Yoshida is the only person in Chainsaw Man that consistently holds people by their legs upside down, whether it be himself or other he's grabbed by octopus. Also, it would make sense for Yoshida to not want Denji giving out his identity if the organization he's part of wants Chainsaw Man likeness to do shady things since he's an anonymous force of nature. So when Salad originally commented this, I was reading it at like 5 a.m. on the train to work in the morning, so I didn't really have time to truly process how crazy this is. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's very common for octopuses, octopi, whatever you call them, to have the ability to camouflage well. They're good camouflagers. Let's see if I can pull up a video of an octopus camouflaging itself. But the thing I like most about Salad's theory is that he points out just how sus Yoshida is. I know a lot of people went into Chainsaw Man Part 2 with the expectation that Yoshida would become the new Aki. I know there's a lot of videos out there talking about their predictions before Part 2 even came out. So maybe Fujimoto knew this, and maybe he just wanted to do a little bit of trolling, and so he decided to say, fuck it, this person that we all want to fulfill a certain story role might actually be, you know, the main villain or something. I doubt that. But who knows? I like that Salad's bringing to light just how sus he is. I really don't want to use the word sus too much in a video where I'm talking about imposters. So another one that I thought was really cool was by a Simian. He said, "It was stated by Makima in part 1 that Chainsaw Man / Pochita's strength was derived from the fear that devils had of nihilism / void. In other words, Pochita's power was not derived from human fear, but devil fear." So this theory is very much possible, as this Chainsaw Man could be the fear of chainsaws or the Chainsaw Man. Pochita is much more than a chainsaw devil and has the power of nihilism / void. This also explains why Chainsaw Man hasn't weakened and is even stronger despite his great popularity in merchandising, as devils will still fear him. Even more after defeating Makima, who is the end boss in part 1. The last thing that devils in public safety heard in hell was the sound of chainsaws, according to the Angel Devil. So I always thought about that Angel quote from part 1 where he said the last thing all devils hear is the revving of a chainsaw, like when Denji pulls the cord in his chest. When you think about how devils are powered by human phobias, you know, you kind of notice that, you know, I don't know a lot of people who have a chainsaw phobia. So why would Chainsaw Man be so overpowered in the manga? It would make sense to me that stuff like darkness, death, heights, the ocean would probably be primordial fears or very powerful devils, because those are phobias I hear about all the time. Maybe arachnophobia, the spider devil. Actually, no, we already have Prinz. Prinz is a spider devil. I don't know why Prinz isn't stronger, because I fucking hate spiders. But I'm not afraid of chainsaws, and I'm assuming you're not afraid of chainsaws either. So maybe this devil that killed Yuko in the last chapter isn't necessarily Chainsaw Man, who is probably fueled by devil power, and is actually just a chainsaw devil who is fueled by you know, human fears of Chainsaw, which I'm not sure is that great. Again, it's a crackpot theory. Don't quote me on this. It's probably not going to happen. But it's a very cool thought by a simian. Another theory came in by Naruteo123. My theory is that was one of the Justice Devil forms. The host is probably a Chainsaw Man Looney fan that formed a contract with the Justice Devil after Yuko's rampage at the school. The reason of this theory is how Yuko emphasized Justice Devil is still lurking at the school somewhere before she left Asa. I take that as some sort of foreshadowing by Fujimoto. Judging by the frequency of the Justice Devil's appearance in this arc, I also have a feeling the Justice Devil true form might be this arc's enemy that Asa/War Devil has to face in the later chapters. I talked about that a little bit in my chapter review video that this comment was on. I do think that the Justice Devil is going to be the big baddie for the first arc. I'm not so sure about this being a crazed Chainsaw Man fan. You know, stranger things have happened, but I do think this is a cool little theory, so I thought I'd give a little shout out to it. Oh, and I also responded to this one. Would Denji even be able to kill someone that idolizes him if he has to? It's another interesting question if that ends up playing out. Another thing was pointed out by Sergeant Plague. A thing that stood out to me regarding the imposter Chainsaw Man is that his head seems more blocky rather than triangular, if that makes sense. Although this might be because of the silhouette, thus obscuring the view of his head. And I feel like a lot of people didn't notice, but the handles, the ones at the top and back of Denji's head, are missing. Combine it with the imposter's larger build, I think this is basically confirms that this Chainsaw Man has a different appearance than our boy Dennis. I'm still leaning towards the theory that this is the Chainsaw Man Devil because it's a pretty damn good theory. And so I pulled up the chapter so we can look at the silhouette as well. And it's kind of hard to tell. Actually, you know what? Let me grab one of my mangas that actually has a good view of Chainsaw Man on it. And I feel like it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if you guys can see that. Or, you know, on the back. Because, you know, the leg's kind of blocking where the handle would be anyway. I don't know if it's going to be a discerning feature. But he does look too bulky to be, Denji. And look at that thick-ass arm. Look how ripped he is. Denji's not that ripped. I know he doesn't go to the gym. I mean, it's interesting. He's still got, like, the sharp teeth right there. You know, the chainsaw. The only thing is that he does look a little too bulky to be Denji. So that's an interesting theory from Sergeant Plague. And another interesting theory from Bang It Hans. I think it's Denji and Naruto is the one controlling him, but she doesn't know. We all know how powerful Control Devil is, and just to be resurrected in a small body with immature mind, her power is bound to overflow at some point. That's why whenever Denji and Naruto sleeps, her power spills into Denji unknowingly, putting him into some kind of sleepwalking state, and where he thinks it's dream-killing devils, but he's actually doing it. This also explains why Denji looks tired from previous chapters. So I for one always thought that Denji looks tired because he's probably losing sleep and he's, you know, thinking about his previous traumas from part 1. But this theory is crazy, and I could actually totally see this being real. I could even see Naruto possibly being a red herring herself and knowingly controlling Denji. And this would be like what I was talking about before with even Fujimoto's red herrings are red herrings. We all assume that this new Chainsaw Man is some kind of imposter, and maybe Fujimoto knows that, so he makes it so that it's actually Chainsaw Man and it's Naruto controlling him. And you know, we did see the panel with the birds from before. As we all knew from part 1, Makima can control small animals like birds and rats for surveillance purposes. So I wouldn't be surprised if it were some kind of control thing. This theory, I'll say my two favorite theories, I love all of the theories, but my two favorite ones are Bang It Hans and Salads. Salads because he's sus of Yoshida, and I think it would be a really cool idea to have him be some kind of villain. But also Bang It Hans because it would be cool, and it also highlights Fujimoto's use of red herrings even for his red herrings. I'm also probably using the word red herring wrong. Another one was commented by Makima Supremacy. Amogus Chainsaw Man was probably a new Blood Devil. Blood Devil power can make weapons using their blood, even working chainsaw. That did happen, yeah, Denji fighting Makima. This can explain the blood on Among Us Chainsaw hand. Blood Devil can make a good interpretation on Chainsaw Man, since it can make a Chainsaw Man costume with literally working chainsaws. B, Yoshida, some octopus seeking camouflage, so maybe that is one of his devil powers. Good reason to kill Yuko, yeah, he does. The way he held Yuko at the end was the same way his devil held Denji in the last chapter. Also how his devil held him in the International Assassin arc. And that's also what Salad said. The Blood Devil one is a new theory that I haven't heard yet. Or Justice Devil. They are a big fan of Chainsaw Man, so they cosplay Chainsaw Man from time to time and pretend to be him. I don't see it being the Justice Devil, because that'd be weird. I guess it would be a reason to hunt down and kill Yuko, because, you know, tying up loose ends maybe. But I like, once again, the pointing the finger at Yoshida, because where the fuck has he been this entire time? The Blood Devil thing, if that's the truth, that would be incredibly sad, because Denji still has that contract with power. So if the Blood Devil is actually on Earth right now causing a fuckus ruckus, it would be really sad for Denji to have to deal with that. So that's another really cool theory from Makima Supremacy. Another one from Joshua Adolfo, and this is actually one that I've seen from a lot of people, is, man, it would be funny if this new chapter, or if this new Chainsaw Man was the Pochita that got launched into space and threw the heart to regenerate back on Earth. So yeah, so as we know, Denji, or Chainsaw Man, can survive without a fucking heart in his body. So because of this, what's to say that the Chainsaw Man that was blasted into orbit by Makima in part 1 isn't still alive and came back to Earth? And I think this is the last one. Is no one gonna mention the billboard in the final panel that reads EGG? Could this be a hint that Bucky is the new Chainsaw guy? Yeah, there's a billboard in the background that says egg. That is an Eikaiwa school. That means an English learning school. I was also kind of interested in the sign when I saw it before, with the egg. But actually, you know what? Thinking about the theory that, from, it wasn't Sergeant Plague, oh, Banked Hans, his theory about how, it is Chainsaw Man being controlled, by Nayuta. You see the birds right here, and then the sign that says egg, and Nayuta is, you could consider her the egg of the Control Devil. She's a new spawn. So actually, I know that Gary the Larry said that in jest, but there actually could be a lot more legitimacy to this than, you know, on the surface. Which would also be really cool if that was a little bit of foreshadowing, and you can take my word for this. If that is true and that is foreshadowing, I will 100% make a video about that in the future. Yeah, you guys commented a lot of really interesting shit this chapter review video, so I want it to be its own standalone video, rather than just a few passing words I do in every other chapter review. I'll still do some comments, I think tomorrow when I do the next chapter review video. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun if we all went over this together and showed off some really cool theories you guys had. That's about all for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the chapter review video. Catch you later. Wow, 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 wow.